Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Finance Rockstars, the podcast that is changing and trying to enlighten the way on how to do business with Argentina and Latin America. We are joined tonight by our friend of the show, who is joining us from Germany, and it's very late for him, so we really appreciate his time. Mr. Felix Holderrieth, who is tax advisor and special senior manager from tax issues and senior board advisor at our colleague company Moore TK in Germany. Felix, how are you? And welcome. Thank you for being on the show. We would like to explore in this very short episode what are the chances, the opportunities, and the challenges of the new renewed commercial relationship between Argentina and Germany, and through Argentina and Germany with Latin America and Europe. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, thank you, Fabricio, for the invite. Good evening. Well, the, the 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 circumstances for Germany are changing at the moment, or have changed over the last years. So in the context global, the situation is more difficult for Germany. Like we for many years we bought cheap energy or gas from Russia, and we lost this companion, in that sense that we are now in a conflict of political conflict, which almost is a military conflict, and Germany in general is looking for new partners in the world, especially to comply with its very high demand for energy. And in this context, Argentina can offer a lot of energy, and hopefully will be a new business partner, or not a new, but a more intensified business partner for many decades to come.
Okay, great. Mati?
And how the different industries in Germany are analyzing how to diversify their production chain, their all the different goods and services that they are acquiring in outside Germany, in case of oil, gas, mining, and other raw materials that could help them to reduce risk and diversify those metrics.
Well, like I said, for many years we depended on Russia when it comes to energy, and it was a very comfortable situation. Everybody knew it was dangerous, in the sense that when the situation with Russia is gonna be worse, we're gonna suffer. And now Germany learned from the lesson and has the intention to diversify its sources of energy. And here many countries come into play, but the world is not getting easier. Like when we look at Middle East and potential military conflicts, also the supply of petroleum not as safe as it used to be. So Germany is spraying, it's looking all around the world for new sources of energy, and here comes definitely Argentina into play, in the sense that it has a lot of natural resources. It seems from a German perspective as a stable country, which is also democracy, and which seems like seems to have many things in common with Germany. So yeah, one part of diversification strategy is definitely to buy energy from Argentina.
All right, Cami?
And you mentioned it, the war risk around Middle East and these countries that that risk. And do you think, well, obviously it's factoring the decision of, oh well, maybe we don't need the Middle East to invest there because we have this risk. So you're looking at Argentina. It's like that's like an urgent thing that is like always a long-term play that you think Germany is thinking about.
Well, both. I think it's both.
Okay.
It's urgent because the German economy traditionally is very emphasized in industry, so it's manufacturing is an important part for Germany. The service sector is not as important as for other leading economies. So the industry is very important for Germany, which means that the demand for energy is high and crucial to have prices that are low to be competitive on the world market. So it's urgent because Germany depends much on that economy and needs more than ever cheap energy. But of course, it's also in the context that it's going to be a long-term investment for Germany to find new suppliers for energy, because in Germany generally everything is has a long-term perspective. All when you look around, all the industry firms that are in place, they are in Germany for decades, and so Germany is looking urgently for partners for energy supply, but always with a long-term perspective.
Okay. Fer?
Felix, good evening, and thank you very much for your time.
Evening.
Speaking in general, what conditions Germany may analyze at the moment to invest in countries like Argentina, and what conditions do you think that we have to have in order to be a supplier for a country like Germany?
Well, stability, I think, is the crucial word. So you need a country that wants to attract German investors needs to be stable in the sense that you need you need to have the law in order. There needs to have low corruption. Investors need to ensure that once they put their money into a country like Argentina, that not the next government in a few years is come and gonna say, okay, all your investments is now government owned or state owned. So those are basic concepts. And these are the most important things, I guess, like low corruption in the best sense, stable economy, low inflation. But of course, not every country can offer that.
And what about process, and what about compliance?
Hmm. Well, Germany has, or in general, the European Union has a lot of regulatory concepts
Frames,
that
yes.
you have to fulfill, frames. So, but when it comes outside of the European Union, compliance, I would say German investors looked at their investment is compliant with the local law in Argentina. And of course, they will look that the numbers are in order, that everything is prepared well, that there's a business opportunity. But other than that, I don't think that compliance is priority number one from my perspective.
So you don't think compliance is a priority in Argentina or for foreign investors? That I didn't get that.
Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, compliance is always important, but
Okay.
it's not in the sense that a German company comes to Argentina and wants to comply with the regulatory that they have in the European Union and apply the same in Argentina.
So what do you think about the Mercosur European Union treaty? What do you think? I mean, we all think it's good, but how do you think it will apply to this special, more than 200-year-old relationship between Argentina and Germany?
Well, first of all, I think it's an important political step or signal in the sense that both continents, like Latin America the countries of Mercosur and the European Union, want to intensify their relations. The implementation is still a crucial part, but it's a signal that both parts of the world want to work closer together, and it comes at the right time for the European Union, not only for Germany, but for example, the natural resources that Argentina can offer, they're crucial at the moment for the European Union. So the agreement of Mercosur and the European Union, it's an important first step, but it's only the basis for the things that are to come. Like, only thanks to the agreement there will be no there will be business, but the business is not only made by this agreement.
Mati?
No, you mentioned many interesting things. The needs in Germany for energy. of course, the also the resources that we have here in Argentina and other countries in Latin America. The agreement between Mercosur and European Union, these opportunities that could bring to do a win-win strategy, but what is still left to for that to become a reality? What do you think that there's still a pending issue to cover those urgencies in the short term, and also to decide to go for a long-term strategy? Why are these still the challenges that could be delaying that actions?
Well, one point is that not everybody in the European Union is happy with the agreement. I can only speak from the perspective of Europe, but I mean, there was a reason it took so long until the contract was signed, because there's a lot of lobbying when you look especially for the sector of agriculture and other sectors that are afraid of additional competition that will come to the European Union. So there is a risk that politically at some point the European Union or some countries from Europe will have the intention to step away with, I don't know, for political reasons. So this is definitely something that you have to keep in mind. And other than that, it's like I said, it's only the first step. There are other aspects like basic things for international negotiation, like you have a double tax treaty like we have between Argentina and Germany, but we don't have between Germany and Brazil. All these aspects, like are there any, how is the tax system, all that, how is the bureaucracy in every country, this is not fixed by the agreement of between European Union and Mercosur. There are other aspects to be sure that they are in order.
Okay, Felix, so in order to wrap up this brief episode, and we appreciate your time and your courtesy and your insights, what would be the 2-3 advices you would give either to German or European companies willing to enter the Argentinian market, especially in those new emerging sectors like mining, energy, etc., and also the other side of the door, to Argentinian companies willing to bring that foreign investment into our country?
Yeah. So I guess in the first, for investors that want to enter the European Union or Germany, is you have to accept that there's a lot of bureaucracy and regulations, like ESG regulations that comes on top on all the regulations. So you have to comply with all that regulation in the European Union, and it's unfortunately you won't be able to do it without assistance by advisors. Diversified advisory firms will support you in the sense that you comply with every law in the European Union. Unfortunately, you will probably take the step. This is important. But other than that, so you will have to accept that it takes time and to be compliant. But other than that, I think the European Union market is quite liberal. We don't have any borders between the countries in the European Union. So once you enter, you accept that how the European market works. I think it's a good place. And speaking about the other way, sorry, so you mentioned about the German investors entering Argentina, or
Yes,
what other?
Argentinian investors willing to bring foreign investment into the country.
Sorry.
Not only companies, also we can speak to the government. I mean, this is also a government level, right?
Well, I would say first, if you want to attract German investors or the German government, when we speak about the sector of energy, you need to be prepared. Like it's nothing special. Do your homework. You need to have your numbers in order, your books. Make sure that everything is fine, that you have a business plan, and then when the German investors come, you have something to offer that looks clear. The other thing is that you look at the investment from Germany as an investment, a long-term investment. Generally, German investors, they're not especially looking for the cheapest prices to gain for a few months. They're looking for long-term investments. German economies or German companies usually they are in place for a long time, so they also want to secure their supply for a long time. So think it as a long-term investment. You need patience, I think, it's the second sense. And the third one, I would say, it's probably transparency, which is important. Obviously, like any country that German investors will where German investors will come to, Argentina has its own risks in the sense of investments. Might be politically, might be, I don't know, for bureaucracy, whatever it is. Don't hide those risks. Argentina has much to offer at this moment for German investors. So be transparent what the risks are, because the opportunities are there. And I think the three things for German investors to come to Germany, important thing is that everything is prepared, that the numbers are in order. Like I said, transparency, and most of all, from a German perspective, it's important that the investment is going to be a long-term investment.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. We have a lot to discuss. We'll be inviting you to further and new episodes. Just to wrap up and to summarize for those of you listening abroad, Argentina and in Germany. Argentina and Germany have a 200-year-long history of friendship, mixing of cultures, and of course, commerce. There are more than 200 German companies operating in Argentina, like Bayer, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, etc. And this is a moment of joint opportunity. Argentina has the raw material, the energy, the mining resources. Germany has the engineering expertise, precision, the technology. We believe that this is a moment to bridge up. And our message from this small corner of the world to the rest of the world is Latin America, and especially Argentina, we don't have much, but there's two things we do have: friends and peace. And whatever the risks are, there is one word that we do not want to enter into our language, that is the word war. We want the word friendship, prosperity,
Peace.
growth, peace. And we will not accept very easily the word war, and we hope nobody does, especially in the strongs and one of the strongest democracies and open and cultural societies in the world, that is our dear friends in Germany. Thank you, Felix, very much. We know it's very late, so we really appreciate your time, and we'll come back to you very soon. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen,
Fabricio.
this is Finance Rockstars. We are your personal business people in Latin America, and we are...
Camila Badel.
Matías Tejero.
I'm Fernando Meita.
And I am Patricio Cavalli, joined once again by our friend Felix in Germany.
And you're forgetting to promote our reports about
Oh, of course, yes.
bilateral.
Yes, go ahead.
No, if for everybody, if they can search our website www.mbe.com.r.
Yes.
We can you can find there many reports. One is related to the trade and business between Argentina and Germany, and how to develop those opportunities. So it's
Thank you very much.
worth
This is
reading.
because I don't read the script. Our producer gives us the script, and I forget to read it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Finance Rockstars. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, very soon in Twitch, perhaps in
We are in
TikTok.
TikTok.
In
We
TikTok.
already are in TikTok.
We are in
Yeah.
TikTok, exactly, and wherever you find your favorite podcast. Thank you very much.
Thanks.